What's going on, YouTube? Claic Yuzolt back again with another War of the Visions video, and in today's video we're talking all about Lucia, the gunner waifu extraordinaire double gunner class. Should we be using double gunner class? What weapon? What vision card? What exact passive should I have on her? And much more. So let's get into it. Before we get started with this video, I do need to say thank you to Amazon for sponsoring us with this Amazon coins deal and this promotion. Guys, you know, even before I got sponsored by Amazon, I was using Amazon coins. It is the safest and most efficient way for you to save as much money as you can when you buy stuff in your mobile games like War of the Visions or Final Fantasy Brave Exvius. You guys can get up to a 20% discount depending on how much you guys are interested in spending. And I have a great deal from Amazon coming to you guys. My Amazon UK users, my first-time purchasers, can get 305 Visior for free by clicking the link in the description below. Guys, you need to go through this. I have a tutorial. I have a few on my channel now. How to get the Amazon App Store, download the game, get the Amazon coins, and then you can buy Visior or any kind of pack you could buy with real money in the game with these Amazon coins at a discounted rate. I highly suggest this. Again, it is the most efficient, best, safe way to save money when you're buying in-app mobile purchases, guys. And thank you again to Amazon, and let's get on with the rest of the video. Alright guys, so Lucia is going to be a range attacker who specializes in getting through tanky defensive targets and doing as much damage as she can. She's going to have a ton of luck, a ton of dexterity, and a lot of accuracy built into her kit to allow her to make sure she's hitting those evade targets and doing what she needs to do. Remember guys, luck is just when you're attacking, you take whatever luck you have, divide it by 2, that's accuracy for you. If you're defending, if you're getting attacked, take your luck stat, divide it by 2, that's evasion on your side when you're getting attacked. So that's why it's so important that Lucia has this, because 1, she can make sure she's hitting targets, and 2, she can kind of sit back on her luck and evade a little bit as well. So it's not as good as accuracy or evasion. Well, I mean, it's not straight up value, right? Because you have to divide it by 2. But in the end, it kind of plays for both. So it may even be a little bit better. It depends on your scenario and what you're looking for. Looking at her bewitching boots, her Trust Master reward, it is insane, right? It's insane. It's an accessory that gives you 10 evade, 7 agility, some defense, and some HP on an accessory, guys. 10 evasion, 7 agility. Phenomenal. The agility alone is great. With the 10 evasion is going to help out even more. And then her TMR ability is fantastic as well. Raises range by 1 for 3 turns and raises agility. Everything we want in a unit we're getting right here with this TMR that we want on a unit, excuse me. That's why her TMR is so great. And now moving on to our jobs, we have dual gunner, ranger, and then monk. And you guys are going to hear me call ranger hunter a lot. It's my go-to, I think, for my WoW days, I guess is why I'm calling it hunter. But this is going to allow her to have a few options. I don't think monk is going to be your go-to option with your ranged attacker personally. And we're also missing out on ninja, so she's not going to be the most fast unit out there. You can see that my agility right now is 58. She's not maxed out. Her passives aren't maxed out. She has some passives to help with agility, but she's not going to be going first like Frederica. Frederica is one of the fastest units in the game, and she's going to lag behind a little bit, but she's not going to be getting lapped. She's not like at the bottom of the barrel or anything like that. But don't expect the same things you got with Frederica with agility that you're going to get that with Lucia, because it's just not on the same spectrum. Lucia she does a lot more damage than Frederica in those regards, or Frederica will go first and maybe can lap some people if they are extremely slow. Going over to the abilities, I want to show you guys what I have set up on my Lucia right now. Support abilities, this is where you're going to really hear about the pierce rate, or the defense pierce rate, right? So we have raises agility, defense piercing rate. So we're going to be able to have defensive piercing on us at all times. It's not attached to an ability, it's passively on us. And what that does is, whatever your defense piercing rate is, you take that percent off of the opponent's defense, and then you get your damage through. So it's going to work great against tanks, right? Because you get to negate a ton of their mitigating defense and go straight in and doing HP damage. And even on squishy targets who have a little bit of defense, get that out of here. You're doing even more damage because you're mitigating, or you're taking away their mitigation with defense and getting in there and doing that damage that you would like. So this is extremely powerful. That's why she's called a tank buster, because of this ability. The next one I think you guys are going to want on is Ranger Lore. Going to raise your range by +1 and then raises your accuracy rate. So you're going to be able to hit all these evade targets. There's going to be a ton of them being built out there, and we're going to talk about why we want to use sharpshoot in most situations. And then we're going to get a range +1, meaning that you're going to be able to you know, shoot from farther away, stay safe with your squishy little ranger, and be safe there. Her reaction abilities, we actually have two that I really want to talk about here that I can't 100% decide between them because our chances are pretty low. We have Reflex, which is one of the strongest ones in the game. Chance of evading all attacks. We talked about Sharpshoot before. It's a hunter ability where you guys are guaranteed to hit, right? It cannot miss. Evasion does not work against it. However, Reflex does, and we've talked about that. Reflex can dodge literally anything in the game. It's a separate proc chance from evasion. It's the counter chance. And so that's what makes it so good. It can really save you a lot of the times when you may be dying from an attack. You can't take the damage right now. Reflex can pop, and I don't know how many times I've seen my Frederica pop a couple of reflexes, then a normal evade, and it really like makes your opponents mad. So Reflex is great. There's another ability she has, which is called Preemptive Fire. And Preemptive Fire is something I've actually been thinking about as well. Chance of preemptive strike when taking physical attack damage. This means if somebody's coming in and hitting you with physical, you have a chance to shoot them first. And this could save you a lot of the times too. It has a higher proc chance. I do believe about like 15%. I think that Reflex is a 50% chance. This is a 30% chance. So somebody's going to swing at you. They stop for a minute and you shoot them first. If that's a kill shot, if you kill them, that's even better than evading because you essentially evaded their attack because it never came through. And then you actually killed them off. You got an extra attack off. However, again, if it's not, you know what I mean? If you don't kill them off, if the hit is going to murder you, you would rather have Reflex of proc so you could evade. But again, both of these things do not affect your evasion chance, which you can build a lot on Lucia as well. So have her have just a high evasion chance. So it's really, I'm up in the air about it right now. I'm going to test both out. Personally, I think the safer bet is to go with Reflex. It saved me a ton of times in the arena in Guild Wars. But I might check out the other one later on. Moving to her sub-commands, I think I'm going with Ranger, guys, only for Sharpshoot. None of the other abilities matter to me. I'm not learning High Charge or Supercharge. Not going to worry about that at all. We're getting Charged so we can get some of these stats on the board, but Sharpshoot will take priority over everything else, and we talked about that. Massive range on the board, can hit anybody across the map pretty much, and guarantees the hit. The only way to dodge this is with Reflex, like we just talked about. So this ability right here takes care of any of that evasion stuff everybody's building, and everybody's building it. Even I'm building it, which makes it extremely powerful, and it hits pretty hard too. And with the range and stuff, I really like that. If we go over a look at what Dual Gunner has to offer and why we're kind of letting that go to the sideways, it's kind of tough, right? Because we have this ability, this TP ability, buffing ability. You know how the units normally buff themselves and then they do something to build their AP. Smokescreen. Raises own evasion by 30 when this bad boy's maxed out, and defense by 20 for 3 turns. That sounds amazing, right? It is, but we have another ability we're thinking about putting on that is a main dual gunner ability that doesn't have anything to do with the sub commands, and we'll talk about that in a minute. It's another buffing ability, but this is a great defensive one. If you find yourself wanting to be full evasion, being a little bit more sneaky, defense, try to live, not try to kill your opponent quicker, try to survive a hit and then hit him back, Smokescreen's phenomenal. Next up, we have Stun Shot, which is going to be 25% chance to stun. I don't hate it, but I don't, and it only costs 24 TP. I just don't see it being as useful as the other abilities that you'll have. I just don't see it as being as useful as Sharpshoot because people can evade the Stun Shot, or it doesn't, 25% chance doesn't proc, and it doesn't really hit that hard or anything like that. So not too worried about Stun Shot myself, but maybe in the future I'll be, more apt to try to be using Stun Shot. Next up, we have Horizontal Shot, which is going to be an AoE in front of her kind of move. Deals the exact same damage when maxed out as Sharpshoot, but could hit more targets if they're all bunched up in front of you, but costs a whopping 40 AP, where Sharpshoot is pretty cheap, and you can actually spam it, and you can use it 4 times in a fight. Sharpshoot only costs 19 AP, so you can see the difference. In these Guild Wars or these arena matches, they can sometimes last long, but they're not lasting like 5, 6, 7, 8 turns. You know what I mean? It can get up to 5 or 6, but it ain't going any longer than that. So your AP management is big, and with these AIs controlling our units, most of the time they're going to go for Sharpshoot, which is a great ability anyway, doing the same damage, just sadly isn't AoE. So that's why I was at first going Dual Gunner, and now I'm sticking with Ranger. We can talk about her LB here. It's going to deals 2 damage, AP 43, so that's what the tough part about it is getting enough AP to have her cast it, her AI to cast it instead of just doing Sharpshoot, and those other abilities. But deals 2 hit damage, large, so going to do a lot of damage to a target, and chance of inflicting status elements, immobilized and disabled for 3 turns. Yes, great stuff there. Nothing else to say about it. If you get it to pop off, it's going to be phenomenal for you either way. Next up, I want to take a look at her ability I was talking about that rivals Smokescreen, and why I think I'll be taking Hunter as a sub-command. And it's this ability I haven't unlocked yet. I'm slowly getting my Lucia up there. Firing Stance. significantly raises missile attack, which is going to be a straight up multiplier added to your attack, just like you get it from Ross Algethi. It's going to be, you know, or slash attack up. That's what this means. Missile attack up of all allies within a range. So if you have double gunner, it's going to help with that. And round self for 3 turns and raises own defense piercing rate for 3 turns. So I'm going to take a look over here at this firing stance. It puts up your defensive piercing rate by 20. So if you have your maxed out passive and this, it's 60% of the defense of your opponent is being ignored if she casts this on herself and you have that passive tune-up all the way leveled up, because it's 40 for tune-up, 20 from here, okay, when it's maxed out. That is a lot of defense to just say, I don't care about your defense. And it's phenomenal, and it's raising up your missile attack. This is the way to go if you want to be more offensive. And Smokescreen is if you want to be more defensive. You know, it really depends. Again, she'll have this ability unlocked at all times. So you can see the way that we have this on both double side here. That means it's unlocked always, those embroiderings. Looking at her other abilities, she does have quadruple shot, hits 4 times, so it's going to chain up 3. Amazing on its own. It is kind of suffering from being small damage, small multiplier. They can't make this bad boy hit super hard or it'd be insane, but it does build up that chain, maybe for Frederica to finish with a sharpshoot or something like that. That would be great. And then she has dual trigger here, deals 2-hit damage, large to target, looking at this, so it's going to be bigger damage. It's a bigger boost to what the where am I looking at here? Quadruple shot could do, but it only hits 2 times, so it's not building that chain up as fast. But other than that, guys, you know, your Lucia, that's what I think about Lucia and how I think she should be built up in terms of her passives. Again, you guys can have difference of opinion. I still need to see her a lot more in Guild Wars. That's where I want to see her, and honestly, I'm ready for a new Guild Wars map, because the current one isn't too favorable to the gunners, because there's a lot of things in their way. There's a lot of you know, that's the good thing about sharpshoot, is it can shoot over stuff, you know what I mean? Like what do you call that? Line of sight isn't affecting them too much, but with all those pillars and being bunched up too close together, it kind of makes the gunners not less useful, but not as good as they could be if the map was opened up a little bit more, right? And there was less stuff in their way. Looking at what equipment you should have on her, for now, I have the Ross Algethi, and this gun right here is by far the best. I have a video talking about building it up, but that's the gun I have on her. Then next up, I have the Sage's hat on for the evasion, because again, we want her to evade as much as possible. She's very squishy, and having the most evasion that we can on her will help her out a lot, and this is going to be great there. As for TMR, I would put her TMR on it and then switch out the Sage's hat for something maybe with a little bit more HP and defense on it, what she can have on. But for now, since I don't have her TMR, I'll be putting somebody else's TMR on her. She wants things like accuracy, crit, because she has the ability to crit pretty well. She'll crit a lot more often than you think she will. And then evasion and agility are all great things to have on your Lucia in terms of that. So now we're going to look over at Espers and vision cards and how I think you should be building her in those ways. With vision cards in Lucia, I think there are 3 options you guys can use. The first one being Tetrasilpha, the one on her banner. You guys are going to get accuracy up and wind attack up. Again, wind attack up is just as good as missile attack up, as long as you're doing wind damage hits, right? You got to make sure that your attacks do wind damage, but it's going to really help out a lot. This is a great one for her. The next one is going to be, maybe more of you have, Sharpened Concentration. This is going to be great on any gunner, any ranged attacker out there that does missile attack. Does party ability missile attack up, so kind of spreads that around. Whereas the wind attack, if your other party members don't have wind damage attacks, it's not going to help them as much as this would if they both, for example, Frederica and Lucia have missile attacks, right? Going to give you that accuracy up as well, but sadly giving you a spirit down. So being an MR card, I guess they had to throw a little bit of something to be bad, but this card is fantastic for your ranger units out there. And last but not least, not one that I would recommend unless you do not have the other 2. It would be Frederica's Dream. The reason being is the lightning attack. Lucia cannot benefit from this at all, and can only benefit from the missile attack up. But even so, the missile attack up should be better than the attack percent up you'd be trying to put on her, okay? Always look for missile attack up, certain element attack up, over just a little bit of attack gain. You know, the attack gain, I've tested it, we talked about it. It does not give you as much as missile attack or certain element attack up. So those are going to be the 3 vision cards you'll look at to put on her. Next up, we're going to talk about Espers, and again, I've said it in a lot of videos recently. Tetrasilphid is your go-to Esper for any kind of ranged missile attacker out there, because Tetrasilphid does have the missile attack up in the board. Next up would be Odin, which is the best slash attack Esper, but also if you're doing physical damage, he's going to be the best best number 2 Esper for you. If you don't have that specific one that does your attack up, like missile attack up or pierce up or punch up. I don't even know what the punch one is, but hey, you know what I'm talking about, the fist one. Because he gives so much man-eater and attack up, it's just going to be fantastic for everybody out there, allowing for you to have that man-eater for PvP and arena and guild wars, because everybody fighting there is a human, and it really just helps out with amplifying your damage quite a bit, and he gives a lot of attack stat, which is what we're wanting. For me, my third slot was Cactuar, because Cactuar also provides a lot of man-eater, as well as some other beneficial things that you can have on your team. So those are the 3 and how I would have her on. Let me show you guys my my arena team. Now, again, I haven't taken Lucia into the Guild Wars yet, because I like to have a unit as max as possible and where I want her before I throw her in there, because we are fighting some pretty strong people in Guild Wars now, and so I need to make sure a unit is maxed out on their skills at least before I want to throw them into the Guild Wars. But with Arena, she's been doing very good. You can see how I have her built up. I do have the Tetra Sylphid and the Tetra card, and then we also have the Frederica's Dream on Frederica, where she gets to take advantage of the lightning attack up, but also spreads out the missile attack up for everybody on the squad. And you got my boy Engelbert in the corner to try to protect his girls from getting too much slay and attack with that Vow of Love, and hopefully casting Taunting Blade. So overall, guys, I'm in love with the Lucia. She's been doing great for me. That defense piercing is great. I finally built up that raw style Gethy to get her going, and I cannot wait to use her in Guild Wars. So if you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up. Comment down below if you have any recommendations or if you have any questions. I'm here to help you guys out. Follow me on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Claic Yuzolt. Sub here on YouTube. Click that bell. Apparently, if you don't click the bell, YouTube hates you and won't let you see my videos. And we'll catch you guys in the next video.